And Martin's disappeared. Don't know where he's gone. Anyway, folks, how we doing? Welcome along to Breaking News Pod on the Rangers Rabble. Sorted out very, very quickly. Fortunately, our good ladies have given us 15 minutes to jump away and discuss the signing of Cyriel Dessers on a 4-year contract for the good old undisclosed fee. I am supposed to be joined by Martin. And as you can see, he's not here. So we'll get rid of his empty chair. It'll just be me until he comes back. So, yeah, Cyriel Dessers finally over the line. Hello, guys. Good to see you, pal. Yeah, finally over the line. Rangers used it as a way of launching their new social media app. Was it Threads? It's called. They put on. I don't know if you saw it. They put on Twitter, follow us on Threads. You won't be disappointed in our first post. Here he is. He's back again. Nice of you just to leave me. That's fine. Happy with that.
No, sorry about that. Slight wee accident with one of the dogs.
It's all right. It's a 4-year contract. You're asking me before we went live. It's a 4-year contract for the good old undisclosed fee.
As ever. Yeah, hello and welcome everybody. Apologies for my lateness. I won't go into why because I'll end up all over Twitter again. But yeah, hello, welcome. Rangers have announced the signing, I'm sure Will's already said, of Cyriel Dessers. We'll just jump straight into it. Will, for your reaction?
Delighted to finally get it over the line. This one's been on the go for what seems like forever. I mean, I'm convinced this is the player that Michael Beale referenced back in January when he said he had a striker that he wanted, and he wasn't saying who it was before in case anybody else snaffled him up. And since the season finished, Dessers' name's been out there, and it was on, it was off, it was on, it was off, and it's nice to finally get him. My only gripe is the fact that it's an undisclosed fee, but these are always undisclosed fees. I'm sure it will come out. I had a quick look on the Twitter feed of the club he's come from. It's at Cremonese, and they haven't even mentioned the fact he's gone. So there's no chance of them telling us at the moment what the fee is. It was rumoured to be somewhere in the region of £4.5 million, but we'll wait and see. But 4-year deal strikes me as seems to be the current. We seem to be saying everybody on 4-year deals. That's unusual because we never used to do that. But I suppose it safeguards the player and it also safeguards us because if they do hit the ground running and become superstars at our level, if you like, at the Scottish football level, then we could possibly flip them for decent money. You know what I mean? So yeah, happy enough with the striker. I'm assuming he's come in to replace Morelos, and he'll be the starting striker. I won't call him the number 9 because Tony Sholak's still in the building, and I'm assuming he'll still be number 9 until he leaves. The first thing I was asked when I posted it on Facebook was, what number is he? And I don't know. I haven't a clue. They haven't disclosed that, which makes me think that they're possibly angling to get him the number 9 because normally they do inform us what number he's going to be fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think it's right that we focus on the age because there's been I've seen a lot of comments, especially on our YouTube videos, talking about the fee that we're going to pay, which it's reported to be around about £4.5 million. I don't know whether that's pounds or euros. I genuinely have no idea, Wilf. But regardless, it's either going to be between £3 million and £5 million, right? That's what the rumoured fee is going to be. He's 28 years old. This isn't one of those signings that we've brought in who we're looking to then sell on. Is it a case, do you think, that Cyril's been brought in as, in his prime as a footballer, he's come in to do the job to help us win the league and we're not, and this isn't a part of the player trading model?
It can't be classed as part of the player, I can't even say it, player trading, but I would be very careful what I say, the player trading model. Because as you say, he's 28, 4-year contract. If he sees that out, he's 32. So you're not getting your money back on him. However, as I said, if he starts scoring and shed loads of goals, we can 2 years out when he's 30, he then signs another contract at a club in a bigger league, and we get our money back on him and then some. I don't think particularly the idea is to flip him. I mean, if we're going to be doing that, you're talking about the younger players. The
I mean,
players that are in
yeah.
their
Look,
mid-20s.
the one thing I don't want is to be on a breaking news pod when we've just signed a player, and the chat is, all right, okay, so when are we going to sell him? You know what I mean? I'm just talking about for the point of view of his age. I think it's nice to see a player being brought in who's slightly older rather than a 22, 23-year-old project type, if you like. It's just nice
Well,
to see bringing in the
again,
finished article.
Again, the manager's took his word because he said he'd be bringing in some, in his words, grey hairs, and he didn't mean players with grey hair. He meant players with a bit of experience. So that's another reason I think he's been working on this one for a long, long time, because he was fairly confident in January he was bringing in a striker, and then he had that grey hairs comment. So he was obviously very confident that he would get Cyriel. And he's finally brought him in. I mean, it's been a bit frustrating because we've been expecting it for the last couple of days. I mean, we were told on Tuesday it was done. So we all expected it yesterday. And then we thought, well, it's going to be today. And Rangers do a 5 o'clock. And it wasn't 5 o'clock. So that, well, it'll be 6 o'clock because they do 6 o'clock. And then all of a sudden, 8 o'clock, bang, there he is.
Please do get your comments in as well, folks. And I'll try and bring up as many as I possibly can. David saying, I can see Dessers and Lammers linking up really well, possibly Danilo as well. We're not going to go into the Danilo links, but Wilf, it's so refreshing and so good to be able to sit here and talk about new players who we don't know, possibly linking up in different positions. We've not had that for a long time.
No, we haven't, and it was sorely needed, particularly, I mean, as we've all been saying, it's been glaringly obvious last season that middle to front, we didn't really have any issues, but we struggled at the back defensively, and we couldn't put the ball in the net. You know, and we're certainly addressing putting the ball in the net. I mean, you've got Lammers, who's by all accounts an attacking forward player. You've got Dessers, who we've signed to score goals. You know, so we're certainly bringing in players to do that.
I'm stuck on mute. There you go. Chick Sharp's asking, why the delay? I'm imagining something wasn't quite right, RE the medical. I don't believe that for a second, Wolf. No. We aren't going to, I mean, I say this, we've brought in the likes of John Suter, etc. But, you know, if something was wrong with the medical, then Rangers step back. It could be a variety of things. It could be getting stuff tied up at where he was, getting his family sorted, looking at all that. I mean, it's not like Football Manager where it's right, okay, he's agreed the contract, he's signed. There is loads of stuff to sort in the background.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it could be as simple as, look, we need you here to do the photos. We're going to Germany on Friday. Come over on Thursday. We'll do all the photos. We'll put you up in a hotel and we'll all fly to Germany together on Friday. It could be as simple as that. Rather than bring him over on Tuesday for him to fly back to Italy to tie up his loose ends, then for him to fly back tonight to go out with the team tomorrow. They might have said, look, the deal's done. Tie up everything you need to tie up there. Come over on Thursday. We'll do all the press on Thursday. We'll announce you Thursday night. And then we'll get off to the training camp on Friday. It could be as simple as that. It could be there could be other things to tie up, but it could be as simple as that.
I'll come to the training camp in a wee second, because I do think that's an important point, and it's something that me and James actually discussed today on the Daily Rabo. And you've kind of touched on it, but I'll ask you again anyway, Wolf. Obviously, he's coming in for whatever fee. We, like you say, we still have Cholak, Sakala, players like that. We've got Lammers, who's come in the door as well. Lammers obviously we've spoken about Lammers being able to play in a kind of variety of positions along the front, whereas Dessers seems more a striker through the middle. So do you think it's going to be a fight now between Dessers and Cholak for that number 9?
I think it'll be a fight between them for the actual number 9 jerseys. I think Dessers might actually want the number 9 jersey, but for the actual position of striker, as things stand, I think they'll both still be in the building at the start of the season. However, if we do bring in another striker, I think Cholak will be for the off, which is a bit. As Scott Carney says, Cholak will probably go, which is a bit unfortunate because he knows how to score goals and he knows how to score goals for us. But it's whether he's going to fit the system. They've obviously had the discussions, but as things stand at the moment, with the squad that we have, then yes. To answer your question, Dessers and Cholak will be fighting out for the main striker position, because I can't see any way both of them playing the same team at the same time.
Scott Stevens asking, how much more money do you think, we'll get to spend? I reckon with Dessers and Lammers, that's probably $7.5 million on 2 players. Don't know the budget, Wolf. I've no idea what the budget is, but talking to people who know people, supposedly, I don't think there is a specific budget. I think if there's certain players that Beale wants, regardless of the fee within range, obviously, then we'll go and get them.
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, you've got to remember the budget's not just for the signing of players. It's for, it'll be the loan fee for SEMA as well. There'll be the wages and all that. That all comes off the transfer budget. But I think what the overall budget is going to be will depend greatly on what's moving out. I mean, I would think that there'll be moves afoot and fairly well down the line to get some of the players out. The likes of, well, Scott Wright's rumoured to be going for upwards of £1 million, so that's £1 million coming in. We've also got £1 million coming in for Bayern cancelling the Tillman deal, and if they sell them, that could be that's upwards of another £1 million coming in. That's before we move anybody else on. You've got to think that there must be chat in the background about Kamara moving on, because it's common knowledge that he's available. So that's another 2, 3, 4, 5 million, coming in. And Michael Beale will be aware of that. The board will be aware of that, but they know it's a big thing. So whatever the budget actually is, and it was rumoured to be 10 or 15 million pound. That was just a flat budget straight off.
Mm-hmm.
The moving on of players is going to increase that budget. And also, I think, if we get past our first European qualifying round, we've got a 5 million parachute payment, even if we don't make the Champions League. So that's even more that can go into the transfer budget. So, as you say, I think the budget is quite fluid at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, CGM, we should be doing everything in our power to punt Roof to Saudi. I completely forgot about Kmart Roof as well, so there's another striking option. Would you be happy, Wolf, to go into the season with Dessers, Cholak, Roof?
Yes, but I'd like more, because I'm quite greedy that way. But yeah, if the transfer window closed at midnight tonight, and what we've got is what we had, then we've certainly got more striking options than we had before, and we weren't that far off since Michael Beale's come in to the end of the season. We haven't been that far. Okay, we don't know how he would have fared in Europe, because he didn't get a crack at that, right? But domestically, we weren't that far off, and he's brought in, as I say, the striking options. And our problem was we couldn't score goals. He's brought in guys that from their stats playing for clubs in leagues of a similar level to ours, they've scored lots of goals. You can't look at Dessers playing in Italy for the worst team in the league, because he's not going to get a lot of chances.
Right, well, I tell you what then, right? Because I've got the stats up in front of me, right? So he scored 12 goals in 40 games for Utrecht. He scored 22 goals in 36 games for NAC Breda. He scored 15 goals in 26 games for Hercules, 10 in 38 for Genk, and 6 in 26 for Cremonese. So he's had a couple of spells where he's not scored a great deal of goals, but again, you have to look at the circumstances in the team. But there has been seasons, well, where the guy has scored goals. So we have signed a goal scorer.
Yeah, of course we have. I mean, and a goal scorer will always score goals, given the service. We don't know. We're assuming that when he played with Cremonese, he didn't get a lot of chances, because they were the worst team in their league, and the relegation proved that. So you've got to think with the players that are around about him, and he gets the service, then he is going to score lots and lots of goals. So we don't know until we see him play. Because I've never seen the guy play. So I mean, the stats can tell you anything, but I always go with the eye test. I'll wait and see. The manager's obviously seen him. The manager spoke to him. Manager's watched him a lot, because I say I think he's had his eye on him since at least the turn of the year. So he must like what he sees, and you've got to trust his judgment.
I think also, and it's something that's been mentioned by when we've been doing our phone-ins or whatever, or our podcasts on Patreon or whatever, it's been mentioned that, players, they wanted the players to come in before we go away in this training camp, before pre-season kicks off. And we seem to have got Dessers in the door at the absolute perfect time as well, because that's him in. He'll fly away with his squad tomorrow to Germany. Perfect time for pre-season, meet the players, get to know the manager's style, and hopefully make a flying start.
Yeah, you can't ask for more than that. I mean, the manager said straight off the bat that he wanted to bring players in early to get them, to get them all together for the start of pre-season. And okay, they've been back a week, because they came back last Friday. So, but they haven't all been back because the international players, they're only just starting to come back.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. I mean, even they're not all back yet. So training camps, best time to get to know your players is when your teammates is when you're living in their pocket for a week, 10 days, whatever it is. When they're all away, they'll be doing. They won't be training all the time. It'll be double sessions. They'll be getting to know each other over, I don't know, PlayStations and playing pool or doing whatever it is they do on these training camps. So ideal time for them to join the squad. It's just a pity we didn't have anybody else to go with them if we are bringing other people in. But that's other chat for another day.
It most certainly is. So just to finish off, Wolf, Cyriel Dessers signs on a 4-year deal for an undisclosed fee. Are you happy? Are you happy with the signing?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's one we'll be looking forward to. There, obviously, social media was going into meltdown about why the delay, why hadn't we announced him? He's announced now. He's our player, 4 years. The fact it's a 4-year, he's 28, 4-year deal. He's got experience. He's here for the long. He's committed himself for the long haul. He's prepared to do that. So yeah, I'm happy. Just as I say, we need to wait till I see him play. Need to wait till I see him play in games that matter. So yes, we'll see him in the pre-season games. Can't really tell much out of pre-season, As somebody referenced to me last week, they saw Abby Matondo in a pre-season game and thought would sign the world beater. So you can't tell anything in pre-season games.
No.
But they have to hit the ground running because the start of the season is critical because the month of August we've got 4 league games, we've got a League Cup game, and we've got hopefully 4 European games to get us into the Champions League. And we just need to hit the ground running and tackle them head on, win them all, and see where we go from there.
And if we win the season, Wolf, it'll be glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers, won't it?
Always. It's always glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers.
Sneaky was asking, will there be a place for Lawrence? We'll be live tomorrow night at 7:30 over on Patreon, where we'll be discussing Dessers, Lawrence, 3-5-2s, 4-2-3-1s, the lot, you name it. Will be live tomorrow night. We'll be back on Monday at 7:30 for the. I'm going to the phone in won't return until the start of the season. So on a Monday night, until the start of the season, it's just going to be a normal podcast. But we'll be back on Monday night. Over on my Patreon, we've got all sorts of shows. We've got 2 released today. We've got more tomorrow, etc., etc., etc. So this was just a wee quick reaction to the news that Rangers have signed Cyriel Dessers on a 4-year contract on an undisclosed fee. And it feels weird to be back on YouTube and me hosting. I've not done it for a while. So...
You're on the wrong side of this. You're on the wrong side of the screen as well because you disappeared. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Do you want to know what happened? Do you want me to tell you quickly what happened?
Go on.
I was running into the living room to get something, and as I was running back, the dog tripped me up, and I smashed my knee off the flare. And I'm currently in a lot of pain. So there we go. So
before you go, I'll give you a laugh. I saw something today about one of our new players. Right. It would appear to be a new nickname for Mr. Lammers.
All right, okay. But Wolf, just think before you say it.
It's all right. This one's okay.
Right, okay.
Somebody referred to him as Tequila.
Tequila? Well, there you go.
Yeah. Sam Lammers.
There's Cammy saying we could hear it, Martin. So my apologies if you heard shouting. I was in a lot of pain. Well, Tequila, that'll do. I wonder what the nickname will be for Dessers. I can already hear the names being thrown in. But the
new song in the PA will be Nice One, Cyriel.
Yes,
it has to be. It's got to be.
It will most certainly be. Said David, knew I heard a scream before Wolf took off screen. Yeah, that was me screaming. Yes, I was going to say something there, but it's a politically correct world now, isn't it? So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in for this quick breaking news. It's good to be back. It's good to be back on YouTube. I can't wait for the season to start. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Wolf.
Thank you, Martin, and also thanks to my good lady for allowing me to come on this at very short notice because she's not very happy. But anyway, there you go. You can go back and get your knee sorted out.
I'm just going to nick to the hospital. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we shall speak to you all again very, very soon.